Esther Anderson, award-winning filmmaker and actress, releases Bob Marley Making of a Legend film in London on the anniversary weekend of 50 years of Jamaican independence. I spoke to her in West London to find out more.
I thought he was much more innocent, but in fact, as later on you find out, in fact, he was not innocent, and he knew all about the music business, and he knew everything, and he'd actually been out there and done it and whatever. I was the one that was innocent. Hardworking, committed, wanted to get his music out no matter what, and that was it. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that the way he left his life hanging at the end, it wasn't necessary to be like that, because he wasn't, as I say, he wasn't innocent. He was a very wise guy. He got himself a good manager, and he knew that the guy set up bank accounts for him offshore, and those monies from the royalties would go in his offshore's account, and nobody could touch it but him. That means that the Wailers was not getting what they were meant to get from the royalties that I gave away these songs for. And then to find other people who some of them can hardly read and write, to find their names on my work, I found that so heartbreaking. But you know, Bob, just because in the movie I finished the movie at a certain point, but he never stopped. You know, he came to see me all the time, all the years, and we spent time together and stuff. But I would never go back. He was always trying to get me to come back. I said, well, you have Miss World, and you have this one, and you have that one. What you want? It's all to do with the writing of the songs. So you see, I haven't written any good songs since you're there. And I wrote "My Woman Is Gone for You" and all this kind of stuff he tells me. But you know, then you find out that in fact, you know, he was married. In fact, they said that 4 or so of his sons are all going to have a birthday at the same time, the same month or the same year or something.
Oh my gosh.
And all that was going on while we were together. So, you know, who knows?
What the basic storyline of Bob Marley and Making of a Legend is, and why we need to see it?
Well, you will see in the film a lot of things you didn't know about Bob Marley, because no documentary or films that have come out has explained to you as clearly as this film does how and who Bob Marley is, you know, because I don't go until it's not a history of Bob Marley. It's about how we created the person who became the legend, how we presented him with the media to present him to the world. Mm-hmm. Here, it's not Jamaica that made these guys famous. The famous business came with the outside world accepting Bob Marley and the Wailers, the Wailers first, and then them over there, because they had to go and actually threaten the people on the radio stations to play their music, because there was always American stuff being played. They didn't respect Bob, so today now the way they carry on, but you know, the government and that, you know, Bob Marley, the whole tourism industry, and Chris Blackwell of all people. He's got statues of Bob Marley and all his so-called Bob Marley this, Bob Marley that, Bob Marley that, because now he controls the family completely. Controls the widow, he controls the daughter and one of the sons, I think, because this boy has now had to actually go into business with Chris to be able to make that Marley film, because Chris Blackwell owns the rights to all Bob Marley's music and all Jamaican music. He bought up everything when he sold the company to Polygram and Universal, big end now.
And Chris Blackwell is Caucasian.
He is born here in England of an Irish father and a Jewish mother, whose ancestors came to Jamaica as slave traders when it was against the law. One Alexander Lindo, and you can find it in all the history books. The movie is it's like a page from my own diaries about my work and my life with him, and the Wailers, because they're in there. And the things that touched it were brought in to help build the story. For example, nobody mentioned Joe Higgs before I brought Joe Higgs into the whole
Who
fray.
is Joe Higgs for those people?
Joe Higgs is the man who taught them how to harmonize. And that person now, he had a hit in the 50s when he did a hit with, what's the Prime Minister's name? Eddie Seaga. Eddie Seaga was in the music business. So he had a person he sang with, this Joe Higgs, they were called Higgs and Wilson. And the song was called Oh Manny Oh. And so that was a sort of Jamaican hit, big Jamaican hit. And so he was known by Bob, and they looked up to him because he's an older man, you know. And so he trained them how to harmonize and make themselves more like the Temptations and so. And of course he played guitar, so he used to give Bob the guitar, and I talk about that in the movie. So I brought Joe into the fold, and because of that now Joe is a part of the history of Bob Marley's life. But before that nobody talked about Joe Higgs. Time, because my film was made before their Marley film. In there I have him coming to Jamaica, how that impacted on them, on him. We have, you know, I show a lot about Selassie here, and we talk about Marcus Garvey, you know, all these people who influenced him and Peter and Bunny, but Bunny was not around us a lot, so he's hardly in the film actually. It's just Peter, Bob, lots of incredibly intimate conversation between those two and me, Carly and Family Man, the original upsetters who became the Wailers, and basically the music director of the band, Aston Barrett Sr.
And so you helped write Get Up, Stand Up and I Shot the Sheriff, and
Yes.
did you help write any other?
I talk about that in the film. So you come, get all the audience to come and see the movie, or else download the movie from iTunes as from the 6th of August, and you can see it all there. But I can't give you all the stories behind the songs. But those are some of the things that you will hear that you never know before, you see. I can't give away everything, but I did, and I will tell you where the stories come from that make those songs.